Hey, it's Casey, and welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age Inquisition. We are in Balrio to talk to someone, to tell them their lover is safe. I can't remember the name, but anyway, we're still working on Josephine's problem with the House of Repose, so that she doesn't get assassinated, or I guess just murdered. I wouldn't really, I don't know. Anyway, so we're off to find out.
I trust you've heard what befell.
Tell someone about their lover.
I'm entirely clear.
You'd think we'd love
An army of some sort attacked?
Well judged. Your evaluation is spot on.
Inquisitor, what an unexpected pleasure. You must have had a long journey to the city. Might there be any news from this house?
Your lover is safe.
Here's a letter from Ellery. He's safe with his family in the Dales.
Oh, my Ellery. Oh, bless you. The Dions will sponsor the Duparakets as a family deserving of a noble title, Inquisitor. You have my word. Now please, forgive my hastiness, but I must read Ellery's words. Make her keep you.
Okay, so now we're going to head back to Skyhold and speak with Josephine. Okay, so let's go see Josephine.
What's the chance there?
I know there's something else we need to do before the Duparakets can... Oh!
Inquisitor!
What happened here?
The House of Repose decided to pay a visit. The guards arrived in time, but I should have guessed the assassins would infiltrate the servants.
Are you alright, Josephine?
Are you sure they didn't hurt you?
They only frightened me. It was all so sudden. Leliana assigned people to shadow me. They appear to have saved my life. I owe you everything, Sergeant.
Only my duty, Ambassador. I'll talk with the spy master about these murderous louts. She'll find how they got in.
Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
What's our next move?
What's the next favor we need to get these Duparakets a lordship?
We must persuade Minister Belize to ratify the papers. She's in charge of these matters of rank. The minister will be at a small fete thrown by the Marquis Wiscott. I'll get you an invitation.
Okay. Yeah, we obviously need to move on this quickly, since now we have assassins coming into Skyhold. You'd think we would have better security than that. It's a bit upsetting. Ambassador Montelier, please forgive the late reply.
We cannot neglect our soldiers' training.
Can we neglect roads? Our allies cannot take the same route through the mountains we did.
I have just ridden from trouble in the Dales. The Civil War has made managing my holdings even more difficult. It would be much easier if I had the ear of the Council of Heralds, but alas, fortune has left me poor in that regard. The Inquisitor is always welcome at one of my Hono fetes. I only regret that it may not be as grand as I would like. Please, dear lady, promise me you will warn her worship that my preoccupation will preclude a richer evening with my guests. With deep regard, Marquis Wiscott? I don't know. The Marquis is clearly fishing for an introduction to the council. Before you attend his party, I'll arrange one.
Let us begin. I've arranged an accord between the Marquis and the Dowager.
Wonder of wonders. Perhaps they can be useful to us after all.
Nope, looks like everything got cleaned up in here. Okay, now I'm gonna go and take the new book, The Sword and Shields, to Cassandra that Varric put together. I don't know what that...
The spiderwebs help stop the bleeding, and they prevent wounds from getting infected. Gather as many...
I can keep staring at this, but I won't get any closer.
Stubborn as ever.
Keep banging your head against the problem. It'll go away eventually.
I'm predictable, I know. I suppose I'll never find them on my own. You recall the demon at Therenfall? The one impersonating Lord Seeker Lucius? We never found the real Lord Seeker, or his body. Indeed, I've seen no hint of any Seekers amongst the Red Templars, or anywhere. I have a growing suspicion Corypheus has imprisoned them.
Couldn't they be dead?
Why imprisoned? He could just as easily have killed them.
Not easily. But yes, they may be dead. Yet a demon of envy does not kill whomever it replaces. It hides them away and learns about them. There must be a trail we can follow, yet so far I have only discovered hints.
What if they're infected?
But they could have ended up just like the Red Templars.
Seekers do not use lyrium. I assume Corypheus gained control of the Templars by corrupting the lyrium they were already taking. To do the same to a Seeker, you'd have to force the lyrium upon him. That may be what happened, but it couldn't have begun that way. We're missing a piece of the puzzle, Inquisitor. I need to find it.
This is important to you.
Finding them obviously means a lot to you.
I left the Order, but I can never abandon them. I cannot even claim that rescuing them would be beneficial. They wouldn't look kindly on the Inquisition. But even so, if there's a chance... If we can spare resources to follow up on these leads, Inquisitor, I would appreciate it.
Okay, well, I wasn't expecting that. I was just trying to bring her a book. Yeah, there's definitely something going on with the Seekers. That much is given, but when you consider what the Lord Seeker was doing, or I guess technically what demon he was, it's a lot to consider.
What have you done now?
I get it, Seeker. You're still sore after our spat.
I'm not a child, Varric. Do not suggest I'm without reason.
A peace offering. The next chapter of Swords and Shields. I hear you're a fan.
This is your doing.
Yeah, none other.
Oh yes. Do you really think I'd miss this?
Well, if you're not interested, you're not interested. Still needs editing anyhow.
Wait!
You're probably wondering what happens to the Knight Captain after the last chapter.
Nothing should happen to her. She was falsely accused.
Well, it turns out the guardsmen...
Don't tell me!
This is the part where you thank the Inquisitor. I don't normally give sneak peeks, after all.
Thank you.
Thank Varric.
Varric's the one you should be thanking.
I am but a humble servant to my loyal readers.
I wonder if I have time to read the first part.
Don't forget to tell all your friends, if you have any. Completely worth it.
Okay, anything else to say now that you've got in your book, Cassandra?
Planning troop movements now.
I'm trying to imagine what it will look like when we're done. All of this once belonged to the Tevinter Imperium. Andraste changed that, as did the Blights. As for what will come next, I cannot guess the Maker's plan.
We make things better.
We make the world a better place.
Because everyone agrees on what better means. I know I want a world where people trust the Chantry and that trust is respected. I want to respect tradition, but not fear change. I want to right past wrongs, but not avenge them. And I have no idea if my wanting these things makes any of them right.
Yeah, those are admirable goals.
Even if they're not right, they're certainly admirable.
Some would disagree. They would call it heresy.
That didn't sound like the ravings of a heretic, Cassandra.
Perhaps not. But it takes precious little effort to paint even an act of compassion as damaging. Tell me, what guides you? You make decisions that shake the world, yet always seem so assured. I wish I had your confidence.
You admire me.
You almost sound like you admire me.
I absolutely do. I may not always agree with your decisions, but how many could do what you have done? You were a prisoner, accused and reviled, yet you've emerged from every trial victorious. The Maker's grace does not make you immortal. You live or die by your own hand. That is worthy of admiration.
I do what must be done.
I do what must be done. What other choice is there?
The demands of the moment.
Exactly.
Think of it. Like Andraste long ago, once again the fate of Thedas will be determined by a woman. It makes me proud to know you.
Yeah, I hope it's not just because I'm a woman, because that's kind of crappy. I hope we're friends.
I hope we can call each other friends.
I hope so too. We still have a long road to travel, Inquisitor. Wherever it takes us, I'm glad you're here. I understand if resources cannot be spared to help search for the missing Seekers, Inquisitor. Still, it could involve a threat we are unaware of. There may be a use in looking.
Tell me about yourself.
I have some more questions.
As you wish.
What happened to your brother?
Tell me about your brother.
Anthony was older than I, a
She's
dragon
finally ready to
hunter.
tell me.
Who showed what a Pentagast could truly be. I idolized him. I wanted to hunt dragons as he did, even though our uncle forbade it. Anthony promised to train me in secret. We would hunt together one day, brother and sister, vanquishing the beasts of old. And then he died on me.
Yeah, that's awful.
That sounds really awful.
It was the end of everything I knew. A group of apostates wanted dragon blood, and wanted Anthony to get it for them. He refused, and they killed him for it. In front of me. I begged the Chantry to let me become a Templar. Instead, they sent me to the Seekers. It took many years to let go of my drive for vengeance.
Wow. Okay, that explains a lot about Cassandra's views on the world and apostates in general. I understand.
I think I understand how you felt.
At times I could not breathe. The rage nearly choked me. I sometimes wonder how different my life would be if Anthony was still alive. Would I be a dragon hunter? Married to some noble fool, a mother of 3? I cannot say.
I can't even see
I
Cassandra as a
take
mother.
solace in believing the Maker has a plan, but he is not always kind.
I'll let you get back to work.
Something is troubling me, Inquisitor. Leliana is receiving reports of mages becoming possessed, Templars going rogue. No one is dealing with these matters. I was hoping we might, before they get worse.
Of course.
We can certainly look into it.
I will mark these incidents on the map as I learn of them, Inquisitor. And I would be pleased to accompany you if and when you investigate.
So you're romantic.
So, that book you were reading?
Yes, what of it?
So under that taciturn shell beats a true romantic heart?
Why must it be an accusation? Romance is not the sole province of dithering ladies in frilly dresses. It is passion. It is being swept away by the pursuit of an ideal. What is not to like about that?
I like that you like it.
Don't get me wrong. I like this side of you.
I don't swoon.
I meant the passion.
Oh, well that's not so bad then. It's good to see you.
I'd like your advice.
Do you have any advice for me?
Tell that demon, what does it call itself? Cole. Tell it to leave. He may not mean harm, but that does not mean he will not harm us. Spirits are not creatures to take at face value. Be cautious with him, Inquisitor.
Okay.
That's enough for now.
Another time, then.
Plus we got a new quest from Cassandra, unfinished business.
Inquisitor.
I asked Mother Giselle, and she said you're wrong. Probably. Didn't matter. They're just stories.
A field report from the Winning Wood delivered to Commander Cullen. On the commander's orders, we approached the rebel camp and offered amnesty to those who surrendered. Few accepted. One was nearly killed by her fellows when she tried to join us. The group bears no love for those who question their right to power. Of course, they called us every colorful name for murderer they could imagine before attempting to kill us. We ended the fight as swiftly as possible. Those who surrendered were young, clearly in over their heads, and grateful for a way out. They have returned with us to Skyhold. We will monitor them closely. After Theronfall, it's good to know we still serve those who need us. The Winning Wood should be safe for travelers. Knight Captain Rioni.
Have you heard anything? Not yet. I'll let you know as soon as I do.
Okay. Josephine's not done yet. Oh, 29 seconds. Okay. So let's go ahead and find something else. Herbs. Oh, there was something down here I read that I wanted Cullen to do. Oh yeah, it was this one. I wanted the soldiers to have it, so we'll go ahead and send them to do that.
All right.
The big one. Our researcher is fascinated by the lure fashioned from the golden nug. She believes that her knowledge of the involved species, combined with the elimination of the apex predators, can result in an opportunity to flesh out something bigger. Something that will truly inspire on the field. It is certainly worth investigating. Oh, so something did come out of our golden nug. Josephine said, our allies will see the lures properly placed and report well on the results. If you wish a lure to be placed, it'll be done. And having our soldiers place these lures in the designated areas is simple enough. Yeah, I think we should send the soldiers to do that. Well, we might as well just have Josephine do it. I don't really think it matters that much. So, since she's not busy. Dorian's request. Now that you're in charge, there's something I thought I'd bring up. There are Venatori mages out there lurking in the wilderness. This comes as no surprise to you since you can't swing a dead cat without hitting one of Corypheus's minions. But these particular Venatori have additional significance to myself. For one, I know them personally. I would call them friends, except that would imply I didn't want them dead, which I do. Since I have an idea of where they might be, thanks to an investigation I began before coming south, I thought we could put our heads together and track them down. At which point, they would sneer something at you into Venter, and you would be forced to kill them, which makes everyone happy. You for eliminating a potential threat, me for eliminating men and women too stupid and short-sighted to be permitted to continued breath. They would be less happy, but who cares about them? Up to you, my Lady Inquisitor Dorian. Okay, Josephine says, if there are Venatori out there, they'll show their faces. Someone has seen them and can loosen their lips. Leliana says, let us look into this carefully and quietly. We do not wish to alert the Venatori to our awareness of their existence. And Colin says, we have former Templars skilled at hunting mages. I can send them to follow Dorian's leads. I think we should do this secretly, so we'll go ahead and send Leliana to do that.
Inquisitor.
Which is convenient, also because she was free. Okay, I have Inquisitor. I have the time and place of the Marquis' party. You must find a way to speak with Minister Bliss privately about ratifying the Duparaket's return to nobility. It's the last step we need. She holds success of this entire endeavor in her hand, Josephine. Okay, so we'll definitely go do that right away.
Thank you for seeing me in private, Minister Belize.
I chastise you for taking me from the party, Inquisitor, but the Marquis throws such dull affairs. It's hardly worth it. I assume you wish to discuss your petition to elevate these Duparakets to a minor lordship. Tell me, why should I allow you to pollute the Orlesian nobility any further than it's already been muddled?
I guess to win favor from me.
Surely, even
I'm
a
that
minister
important.
could do worse than have the Inquisition in her debt.
I am a well-positioned woman. I require something more concrete than vague promises of future gifts. And do not attempt to charm me. I am far too old to tolerate it. What can you possibly provide that will make your petition worth my effort?
Oh man, I don't want to give her any promises. Definitely not the army or information. Oh. I don't know. I guess that's the least valuable. I feel bad saying that, but might as well flirt her up, I guess.
I don't think we'll be missed from the party for a while.
Are you quite serious?
Yeah, I'm completely serious.
For the pleasure of your company, Minister, Absolutely.
Lock the door. And fetch me some pillows.
Oh, I feel so dirty. I can't believe. Oh, man. But I felt like it was better than offering other promises without knowing what exactly she wanted. So I guess there are worse things that I could have sacrificed to save Josephine. But I feel kind of gross about it.
He said
I
your
must
request
return
was
to Valrayo to see
an
that
insult to
everything
his
is
rich
normal.
Kunari heritage.
Please join me
Ambassador.
when you can.
Okay, so we'll head off to Valrayo. Check on Josephine.
Keep the swords tied. I'm not kicking anyone out yet.
I received a letter from the House of Repose, Your Worship. They acknowledge their contract is null and void. There is no longer a price on my life.
I'm glad you're safe.
I'm glad you don't have to live your life looking over your shoulder anymore.
I regret we were forced to deal with them, that you were endangered by my part in the game. Did I ever mention I used to be a bard?
You were a singer?
Bards entertain the Orlesian court. They sing, play music, make charming conversation, and spy. Many young nobles put on a mask and practice playing the game in such a fashion.
How did you come to it?
What made you interested in becoming a bard?
I was attending a university in Valroyo when I learned about bards. There was such an air of romance about them. Stories of secrets, trysts, and fascinating people. A group of us, young gentry from Antiva, decided this exciting life was for us.
Sounds risky.
I don't imagine many firstborn heirs join those ranks.
No, I was a rather foolish exception. During one particular intrigue, I encountered a bard sent to kill my patron. We fought. Or perhaps scrapped is the better word. Both of us terrified. We were at the top of a steep flight of stairs. The other bard drew a knife, and I pushed him away from me. You can imagine the result.
It was self-defense.
You were only defending yourself.
But it was such a waste, Inquisitor. When I took off his mask, I knew him. We'd attended parties together. If I'd stopped to reason, if I'd used my voice instead of scuffling like a common thug, I'll always wonder who that young man would have grown into.
No one merciful.
He seemed willing enough to murder you for the game.
Perhaps. I feel I'm the last to judge whether or not he would have actually used the blade. In all the commotion... forgive me, I don't believe I ever thanked you for helping me with this.
You don't need to.
I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Such a gracious woman deserves nothing less.
Such talk. I'm quite overcome.
Should I stop?
Oh, no. I mean, yes. I meant, no, I don't... Well, if you meant to draw a blush to my cheeks, you've completely succeeded. Let's return to Skyhold before anyone notices.
I think it might be time for me to stop flirting with Josephine as well. Because I don't think Josephine and I are going to be a thing, so... Anyway, let's head back to Skyhold. Yeah, anyway, I don't want a Blackwall situation again to happen with Josephine, so I'm not going to flirt with Josephine anymore.
Inquisitor? Leliana wished to speak with you, Inquisitor. It seemed rather urgent. It's good to see you.
Is there anything to report?
What do the people make of us?
We've gathered many favors among the nobility. They will be gently reminded of this.
How are our guests?
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
Lord Nadovino of Antiva, a friend of my family not normally given to politics.
How did you get him to support the Inquisition?
Antivan are touched by worthy deeds, Inquisitor. I impressed him with the rightness of our cause. I also promised him 40 bottles from our wine cellar. He's had his eye on the Tevinter ports for years.
Okay, so let's go find Leliana, since she needed us urgently.
Did you know that Seeker Cassandra's ancestor lived for over 120 years?
Wow. I like those little random tidbits of info. Here she is.
Your trip to the merchant's home yielded results.
Oh yeah, this too.
Before she became leader of the Venatori, Calpurnia was a slave from Minrathus. Even slaves with magic are treated unkindly in Tevinter. If Corypheus freed her, no wonder she follows him.
It's almost sad.
Her old life must have been harsh if Corypheus seemed a better master.
Perhaps. Calpurnia has freed every slave she's purchased. Vicinius tracked his shipments. My agents will investigate. This may lead us to Calpurnia's lair. In the meantime, speak to Dagna. The crystal you found on Vicinius fascinates her.
Okay.
Inquisitor, may I have a word? I notice you've paid Lady Montilier quite a number of compliments.
Oh no. I can't keep anything from you, can I?
You found me out, Spymaster.
An entanglement with our ambassador seems most unwise. I asked Josephine to join the Inquisition because we needed a diplomat. Not so she could be toyed
Oh
with.
no. Oh. Was that a threat?
Is my own Spymaster telling me to watch myself?
While it would be pity of me to tamper with your supper over this, she is a very good friend. Josephine's no stranger to courtly intrigue. But love? There she's an innocent. She has no idea you are truly attracted to her. If indeed you are.
And if I am?
What do you have against the idea of me being attracted to Josephine?
I have not known you long, Inquisitor. Neither has Josephine. Her heart is easily carried away. I want to be sure it's taken by someone who truly cares. So, if you feel anything towards Josephine, I want to know.
That's nothing serious.
I just gave her a few words of praise. Nothing to get so upset about.
You mean to tell me I have misread the situation? Interesting.
I'm glad you care for Josephine, but calm down.
Whatever happens, I'm glad to see Josephine has a concerned friend here.
I have so few true friends these days. Those that are left I deeply cherish. I will not trouble you any further, but I do watch over my friends. Good day, Your Worship.
Oh, I feel like I just put myself in another Blackwall position. So I need to go and make sure Josephine didn't take this all the wrong way. I need to hurry up and decide so that I can stop leading my people on, apparently.
Well, Leliana just gave me quite the speech.
What about?
About us.
Oh, she is impossible. Might we discuss this somewhere more private?
Oh, crap.
Leliana said I was an innocent in love?
More or less.
Of all the... I'm quite capable of understanding our association.
I've never thought your intentions were overly
Oh,
romantic,
good.
Inquisitor. I assure you.
Yeah, I'm not interested in you that way.
But we are still friends, right?
Ah. Well, I'm glad we've settled this, and I'll be going. Should you ever think...
Oh my gosh.
Good night, my lady.
Not good, not good. So clearly, I really need to make a decision soon. But on a happier note, the new bed looks cool. So if I can't jump on it anymore. But yeah, it looks way cooler than the other one did. What was that? Oh, this copies of Heart in Hightown. So now let's go see Dagna to talk about the crystal.
This is an amazing find, Inquisitor. The Shaperid in Orzammar had something like it.
Greetings to you too, Dagna.
They preserve voices, or a likeness, memories, you know? You don't know. Doesn't matter. The Venatori cracked it, but here...
These documents you found, Inquisitor, I've made interesting... discoveries.
Have no fear, demon.
But the power will draw them unless you have wards against possession.
Once you have become the vessel, demons will be beneath your concern. Prepare as I have directed.
I shall, Elder One.
Sod it. Oh, sorry. The crystal couldn't take anymore. Wasn't meant for this.
Holy crap. What did we just see?
That looked like Corypheus and Calpurnia.
It was a memory stored in the crystal.
No, that was vital information. Did you see Calpurnia's expression? Their alliance may be less than harmonious.
What vessel did they mean?
Corypheus said Calpurnia was going to be a vessel. A vessel for what? They spoke of power and demons. But Calpurnia is already a magister. Corypheus must have some other plan.
Calpurnia doesn't trust him.
The crystal showed us Calpurnia hasn't bought into Corypheus's myth just yet.
Well, I'm no shaper, but I might be able to get it to remember new sounds.
Really? If we hid it among Calpurnia's belongings, imagine what we could learn.
Huh. I can split it and keep half here. We could hear her speaking right then. It's not how they're supposed to work, and it'll probably break. As I said, I'm no shaper.
Inquisitor, Calpurnia's Venatori have been digging up elven ruins. Tracking them might lead us to her. If this crystal were placed in a lair, I cannot overstate the value of what we might learn.
Why not just attack her?
Why not attack Calpurnia head-on?
You attract attention, Inquisitor. Her spies would see you coming. A single agent may slip in and out without notice. This crystal may yield great rewards.
Yeah, let's do it. Feels just.
It seems only fitting to turn Calpurnia's tools against her.
Right.
If there's a rift growing between Corypheus and Calpurnia, we must exploit it.
I'll have the crystal ready soon. I think. Let me find the Quicksilver.
Let me check on Josephine.
A pleasure.
I had more personal questions. Tell me about Antiva. Who's in charge of Antiva?
Who rules Antiva?
Officially, the Principality of Antiva is governed by His Majesty King Fugelno II. In reality, Antiva's merchant princes rule the country in everything but name. Quite loudly, I might add.
Is that first-hand experience?
What sort of dealings did you have with these merchant families?
As ambassador, I attended Privy Council meetings in a mediatory capacity. May I just say, one has never heard an argument until they've sat in on 15 princes howling down each other's tariff suggestions.
Well, it doesn't sound dull.
If you must deal with legislation, at least it's lively.
It's all a part of life in Antiva. Our traditions value passion and romance. A certain exuberance of style.
You're not very exuberant.
Are you positive you're Antivan?
I can be most exuberant when it's called for. Just at the right moments, and in a proper fashion. Might we speak of something else?
Tell me about Antiva. What's living in Antiva like?
What's the land like in Antiva?
The settled areas are quite lush. The vineyards run as far as the eye can see in some places. Antiva City, however, perches right up against the Rialto Bay. That's what I miss most. The sea crashing against the maze of the docks.
You spent time there.
I have difficulty seeing you wandering around a trading port.
Everyone in Antiva City spends time by the ships, my lady. The finest restaurants and poets all make their habitation by the sea. The waterfront's never still. Lanterns are lit along the promenade no matter what the weather.
Do you miss Antiva?
Are you ever homesick?
Occasionally. When a breeze stirs the trees in the garden, I sometimes pretend it's the sound of the surf. Do you know, I even miss those terrible squawking birds infesting the harbor. My younger sister used to throw whole loaves of bread to the gulls. Silly thing.
Where did you grow up?
Where were you raised, Josephine?
I was born in Antiva City, but when I turned 15, Mother declared I'd attend finishing school in Val Royaux. But I bawled into her skirts the day I had to leave.
How sad you must have been.
You must have missed her terribly.
I did. And she was most unsympathetic to my wailing. But my mother only wanted the best for me. Living in Orlais was an education in itself.
What was school like?
What did you learn at this finishing school in Val Royaux?
Among other things, mathematics, rhetoric, poetry, history, logic, and a great deal of etiquette. I still remember Madame Beventir's switch on my knuckles when I forgot the basic tenets of Nevaran dining customs. For a dowager approaching her 80th year, she had quite the arm.
Yikes. So what do you think of Orlais?
How did the younger you like Valrio when you arrived?
Have you ever stepped into a new city and felt the buildings couldn't possibly be real? That was Valroyo to me. So beautifully foreign. I gaped at its spires for months.
Are there none in Antiva?
Does Antiva City have nothing that compares to Valrio?
Antiva City is a jewel among the capitals. But I did not appreciate that before I traveled. There are multitudes of places I'd like to see. Saharan, the Anderfels, whatever lies past the Amaranthine Ocean.
What's your family like?
Tell me about the Montiliers.
Well, my parents are alive and in good health. They live in our estate in Antiva City. Of my 4 siblings, most attend to the running of the family vineyards. That reminds me, I must ask someone to make sure Yvette attends the spring reception at the palace. My youngest sister has no head for social engagements.
Why are you arranging it? Her parents
Why
are
are you
alive.
overseeing your siblings' social lives?
It's Antivan custom. After a certain age, the heir apparent runs the family's estate to prove they're worthy of succession. If you're unfit for the task, the heads of the house, usually one's parents, may decree a new heir.
Then what do the heads do?
What do these Antivan heads of the households do if they don't run it?
They work and provide guidance. I've taken advice from my parents. Well, mostly mother. Father's more of an artist. It's rather gauche, but we never can dissuade him from running his own salons. Between him and my siblings, mother's looking forward to my taking over the estate.
That sounds exhausting.
Between that and the Inquisition, when do you ever rest?
Delegation helps a great deal. But managing the estate is my duty. As much work as it is, I will not shirk it.
You sound determined.
Is running your family's estate that important to you?
I'm responsible for their welfare. A Montilier never shuns their familial duty. Taxing as those duties can sometimes be.
You'd never let go of them.
I think you're too finicky to give those responsibilities to the rest of your family.
You don't know them. But Lorien in charge, or Antoine, or Yvette? No, truly. It must be me.
What's your past with Leliana?
You haven't really gone into detail about how you know Leliana.
We met... let me think. We met the last few years of my schooling, but we became friends after I became ambassador to Orlais. It seems terrifyingly long ago now.
What prompted the reunion?
How exactly did you and Leliana reconnect in the Inquisition?
I discovered my family had been overcharging a merchant we traded with for months. Our name carries a great deal of trust in Antiva. I spent weeks arranging a string of favors as suitable recompense. Apparently satisfied, the merchant extended me an invitation to her estate. Leliana greeted me in place of the merchant.
A clever way to test you, then.
I assume the entire problem was some form of trial.
You assume correctly. Leliana claimed she needed someone of painful integrity for the Inquisition. I accepted, once she finally explained what it was.
Are you still friends?
Do you remain close?
Yes, but she's grown so much more distant than the outgoing woman I met in Valroyo. Leliana used to wander the Orlesian courts, singing the sweetest songs, charming the greatest wits. Now she collects secrets and takes risks that would make
Yeah, I thought she was
empires
kind of a
tremble.
ditz during Origin.
I worry, but she will not hear it.
You talk often, then.
Does Leliana confide in you?
She enjoys revisiting our more disastrous adventures. Leliana used to concoct the most ridiculous plans. Run if you ever see her with a twine ball, a measuring stick, and a handkerchief.
Okay.
Let's speak later.
Goodbye.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and quit for today, so thanks for watching.